podcast.
We are here for the burying of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's see, 48 hours in advance. The time has arrived. The consistency the Leafs play with is amazing. Change the roster. Change the coach. Change the GM. But still, regrettably, Leaf fans die another death. Well, you could say with the Leafs, it's the death of 1,000 cuts. I mean, we're up to what, 850 now?
Something like that. It's getting close there, Frank. I tell you.
I have to tell you, it's only a game. The problem is it's only a game you want to win. Oh, shit. That doesn't work good either. Ugh.
I mean, the way we're currently sitting, technically speaking, realistically, the game was only 2-0. There were 2 empty net goals that were scored. But, yeah, I'm trying to make myself feel better here, and it's not working.
Hey, listen, I was a Leaf fan at one time. My Leaf fandom, like actually being a Leaf fan, like pulling for the team, ended in the barreled Hallard era. It ended for me. The moment Montreal gave Ballard $5 million so he can maintain ownership of the Toronto Maple Leafs was when I realized the fix was in. We heard a story that I talked about back when I was hosting a TV show and doing this kind of stuff, that the league stopped a trade with Tampa for a guy that was their captain and led their team to a Stanley Cup. And the Leafs stepped in and said, the NHL stepped in. This is Gary Bettman's first couple of years. And they said, no, you're not making that trade. Well, we can't have you make that trade because you're going to be a better team because you're the only team allowed to make mistakes and we're not going to help. We'll help everybody else, but not Toronto. And that's when I decided being a Leaf fan was a waste of time in regards to pouring my heart out, it's that thing I had when I was a kid. That's a long time ago. So when I was a youngster, the Leafs were winning Stanley Cups hand over fist. Not so much since then. So that gives you an idea of my age. And I just want to remind you folks, we're here for Leaf Talk with Aaron William Freeland and a please don't take me in, Candid Frank. No, I'm laughing because it's terrible. I mean, and Aaron, I hope you don't feel as though I'm laughing at you. I'm trying to laugh with you because gallows humor is going to be the subject matter today. Everything's going to be gallows humor because the Leafs did absolutely that much right.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, gallows humor is the order of the day. It's the only way that a lot of us are getting through it. After 3 consecutive games of chanting Kachuk sucks, he had a goal and 2 assists, and Tim Stützle, who they were so good at shutting down, had a goal and 2 assists. Linus Ullmark played his ass off, pardon my French, made 27 saves for the shutout. Thomas Chabot and Dylan Cousins each had goals. This forces the series to go back to Canada, which is where Brady said that they would be after Game 4, addressing the crowd. You couldn't see it, but if you could read lips, he actually managed to say something without swearing during a game, and that was, "We'll be back." So
yeah, he definitely said that, and they definitely were. They definitely are going back, and I think this is a case of a runaway train rolling over the Maple Leafs. They've done again this year what they've done. It seems every time they had an opportunity to win a series in the closeout game, they're 1-13. 1-13 in closeout games. That's not very good.
No, it's not very good at all. And this is strictly since 2018. So we're just looking at the last 7 years. Now, who are wondering, closeout games are classified as games technically end series. So
Right.
we're talking when they have the series lead, and that next game would be the one that they need to close it out. They've only won one series.
That's right.
It is what it is. The last time the Leafs won a series, I don't think any of these guys were playing in the NHL. Let's be fairly honest. It's been that long since we've actually done anything. But, and bear with me, Frank, because this is where it gets interesting. I think this is the absolute perfect time for the Maple Leafs to put Joseph Woll in net and blenderize their lineup. Throw in guys that throw in guys like Steves, throw in guys like Rafai, throw in guys like Robertson. You have nothing to lose at this point. You're up 3-2.
Sure you do. You have the series.
No.
Series.
They're not losing the next game. They're not losing. You cannot. There is no way for them to lose the series in the next game, Frank.
You're not suggesting. Oh, okay, good. For a minute there, I'm glad you mentioned the goaltender first, because I was concerned you were going to include the Zamboni driver in this lineup.
No. But when you think about it, Frank, they're up right now 3-2 in the series. Unless the game on Thursday counts for 2 wins for Ottawa, they're not losing the series this next game. They can afford to experiment and put in players and have a little bit of fun with it. Right?
You're showing. I'm starting to see the effects of hockey Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, dude, I am so deep in this. It's not even funny.
It's like Stockholm syndrome. Hey, listen, the truth is, it's not the lineup, and the elephant in the room has been well documented, and the coach knows what's going on here, and is so frustrated because he doesn't have an answer to the core four. It's not the core four. There's a whole bunch of other players. It's not the core four. It's a bunch of different players. It's the core four. Listen, I've had my bad days with Nylander, right? I've had my.
Oh, yeah, we all have.
Well, I'm having another one today, buddy, and this is how this one looks. He's back to doing the thing that he did back before that I didn't like, which basically said, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. On the 2-0 goal, he was at the point with Marner. Marner lost the puck. I guess Marner tried to catch up. It was a 2-on-1 with Nylander coming behind. He was skating slower and more lackadaisical than I did doing the circle at the local arena, skating in circles. He had no effort from the center line all the way in. No effort. He just, did you see what I'm talking about?
What I noticed in particular was that there was a lot of the, hey, ref, look, ref, I'm trying to make it to the puck. Ref, no, I swear, I'm trying to negate the icing. Ref, I just can't make it. In his game last night, it was the, look at how hard my arms are swinging. See how fast I'm going. Surely you can, give me the icing.
That goal was the killer, Aaron. That was the killer goal, and he should have played like it was the killer goal. He should have skated so hard he couldn't have stopped in time to hit the boards. That's how fast he should have skated. But he gave up on that play immediately. He basically said, "All right, give it your best shot." Oh, shoot, you scored.
He looked absolutely disengaged.
That essentially was probably the half length of ice that made the difference in this series. Because if he makes the play there and at least tries to distract, give the goaltender the belief that the pass isn't going to happen or the pass won't work, right? Then the goaltender can concentrate on that shooter, right? But he was dealing with a 2-on-1, and we all know what you do on a 2-on-1. Anybody interested in elections should know what you do on a 2-on-1. What do you do on a 2-on-1, Aaron?
Take away the pass.
Thank you. I don't know where you've heard that before, folks, but I'll just say we love our politics, and I just injected some politics into this program. Yes, take away the pass, and Nylander had a responsibility as the second guy there. He should have been down the ice, even if he didn't make it, Aaron. even if he didn't make it, this is the part why I'm closing my eyes because I'm so frustrated with this. The guys on the bench are watching this. It had to have been heartbreaking for the players on the bench to see the lack of effort in him. That locker room, there's stuff going on, and the next game they play, the miracle is going to be if the coach, the miracle is going to be if the coach can somehow flush everything that's happened till now and break it down to this is the game for the series. I know it isn't, Aaron. I know you're right. You're right when you said that. It's not the end of the series, but they have to enter into this game like it is, like it truly is. They got to play like there is no tomorrow, because they definitely didn't play yesterday like there's no tomorrow, and they didn't play much like there's no tomorrow the game before that. And this is not to take anything away from Ottawa. Ottawa is well-deserved for those 2 victories. They worked hard. They played hard. But you know what? There was a Leaf team out there that could have played not just harder, but with more talent.
So here's what's upcoming for the Maple Leafs, and I appreciate what they're doing for the Marlies here, because they were eliminated in double overtime on Saturday against the Cleveland Monsters, but they've called up Alex Steeves, Jacob Quillen, Nick Abruzzese, Reese Johnson, Alex Nylander, and Roni Hirvonen. They've also called up Matt Benning, Cade Weber, Topi Niemela, William Villeneuve, Mikko Kokkonen, Marshall Rafai, Matt Murray, and Dennis Hildeby. The stated purpose of this is to give these Marlies players time to train with the Leaf players and see what it's like to be up with the big club. However, I'm just thinking they picked the absolute worst time to do this, mainly because this Maple Leafs team is absolute garbage when it comes to closing out series. I don't know what they're trying to teach them by bringing them up at this point, but bless them for trying. This is one of those I'm not sure what you're thinking moments.
Just picture this, Aaron. Picture this for a moment. You got a team full of guys. You're bringing a bunch of guys that just played a series and lost.
Yep.
Now you're bringing them to the big team. We're in the middle of playing a series
and losing. Yeah,
they're gonna lose. And so, now you know what it's like to be in the National Hockey League.
So this is where you rest 4 of your top 6 forwards.
I would rest Nylander. Honest to God, I swear to God, if I was the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, I would put Nylander in the press box. I would put him there, and I would say, "You get no popcorn."
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, here's my thinking. Nyes, Matthews, Marner, you got to split those guys up. Marner fanned on a couple different opportunities last night. Nyes has been looking a little bit slower. He did get tossed by Ridley Greig from behind. Those guys both deserve a night off. So Alex Steeves and Nick Abruzzese should slot in there on the front line with Austin Matthews. William Nylander comes out. His brother Alex Nylander goes in. Pontus Holmberg comes out, and you're going to put in Ronnie Hirvonen in his place. In the bottom 6, Bobby McMahon stays. Max Domi out. Going in to replace Max Domi should be Reese Johnson, and Jacob Quillen should absolutely take the spot of Max Pacioretty, just because he's still not back into game shape yet. Lorenz Lawton-Yarncroke stayed. 4th line, fine. 4th line is absolutely fine. You're looking at the defenseman here. Tanev and McKinney, they can stay.
I didn't hear Kemp. He doesn't come in?
No, Kemp is still listed as currently actually on the IR, believe it or not. He's been upgraded slightly today as of this morning, but we may not necessarily
know Austin Matthews' spot in practice 2 days ago.
Yeah, that was 2 days ago, though. Today, according to the Leafs, he's day to day. So, you may take out Yarncroke and put Compton instead.
I'm oh boy.
I'm just having a little bit of fun with it here, man.
It's working. It's working. I'm sitting here. I get your humor. I mean, I get your humor. I just, what it is honestly what it is. What it is that it almost seems like this team, this organization, does this on purpose, because to lose as well as they lose, to do it with on point, to do it that well takes oh yeah, they have had practice.
Oh, a ton of practice. As you can see, their practice is succeeding. They're 1-13 in series clinching games. Their practice, it's immaculate. Don't get me wrong. But geez.
Okay. All right. I tell you what, I'm going to pull the ripcord on this attitude that we have. We'll try and take it a little more seriously from here on in. We've got a few minutes left. To be very serious, Stolars cannot be blamed for what's going on here because you can't blame him on 2 empty net goals. That's for sure. A 2-1 at the end of a well, not at the end, but during a power play. 2-on-1, not on him. 2-on-1 is hard for a goaltender to stop. So it was 1 goal, and it was another flutter ball.
And it was from Thomas Chabot on the point.
He got a piece of it, a little bit. He got a little bit, just didn't get enough of it. And what we're seeing here is a team, the Leafs, that are playing well enough defensively to lose a game 1-0. So all the kidding that we're doing and the laughing and the, because like I said, gallows humor, the fact is they're playing well enough to win. Once again, Matthews hit a goalpost. Once again, they had lots of chances, made nothing of them. I don't know, Aaron. The only thing, really, honestly, I mean, the rest of the world can dump on us how they wish. They just need to catch a break. The question is, Ottawa's been catching the breaks now. Is it Toronto's turn to get a break? Because Toronto got a couple of breaks earlier in the series. Ottawa's gotten a couple now. I don't know. Do the hockey gods say, all right, we'll give the Leafs a shot. Let's see if we give them a little push, see if, they can do something. Because it appears to me that's what they need. They need a puck to go 2 inches this way or a bounce to go that way. That's how far away they are from winning. Anybody who says anything else, the Leafs are not playing terribly. But again, I revert to what I said about Nylander. And I said this at the beginning of the series, and other experts have said it too, because it's a simple fact. You can't make it easy for the other team to score.
No, you really can't make it easy for the other team to score. And all of the goals that I've seen go in on Stallers, there have been 1 or 2 that you maybe want back. That's the way it is with every single goalie.
Yeah,
but Ottawa has been superb at taking away his eyes. And that's been the thing is taking away the eyes, right?
And where the puck, Aaron, where the puck has gone in is basically it's Mercury, Fufa, Mercury. Never mind.
No, it's
Mercury's weakness.
Now, are we talking about the Greek god Mercury,
yes,
or
the Greek, not Freddie?
Okay,
the Greek god Mercury.
His weakness was men in front of him.
No, the Greek god. Ankle. No,
you're thinking Achilles.
Yeah, Achilles heel. That's who I'm thinking of. Achilles heel.
Right.
At least Achilles heel. A goaltender's Achilles heel is the Achilles heel. There are areas of the net. Doesn't matter how well they're playing, they're not going to be able to stop the puck. Aaron, you and I both 100%. Know that.
Oh yeah.
There are places that if you put it there, the goaltender can't stop it. There are other places that are more liable for a goal. For example, under the arm. Why? Because goaltender can't move fast enough to stop that shot. 10 inches above the ice, because when the goaltender does a butterfly, now he's relying on his glove or his blocker to stop the puck. And there's a lot of net above the pads, right? So my point is, it's very simple. The Leafs have to get lucky, but they have to create their own luck. They have to shoot the puck. Shooting the puck makes things happen.
Now, and that was one of the things that they were saying is they've got to be more direct, right? Because their power play is stalling out. They do have to try to get shots. Now, in the overtime loss in Game 4, they did have 6 shots on a 4-minute power play. That is something to be said.
Yeah, that they get that many shots and they can't put one of them in. That seems to be the
that's
theme
the
of the story.
genuine concern at this point here, because Olmark seems to be playing with horseshoes put where. But again, like I've said, all it takes is one. That's all that they need in order to break through.
One in the right place.
Exactly. And this is why, again, I'm going to keep harping on this, and I think they should do it because I think it would be A, hilarious, and B, just the tonic that they need. Get out the core 4, put in the 6, put in 3 of the 6.
Listen, if they do that, great. If it works, even better. I'm going to say that the only one I would take out is probably Nylander, and I would bring Robertson in. I would take Nylander out because in that locker room there has to I can't believe nobody saw what anybody on the bench saw the way he skated back. I don't care. Anybody can say whatever they want, but every player on the ice is on the bench is watching that play. Take that guy out and then have the coach or somebody influential on that team say, guys, this is the last game of the year. Time to play this game like this. I want to see an honest effort from all of you. You need to do the best you can. Can we do that? Just one more game. Give it the best you've got to give. Back check like there's no tomorrow. Make sure the players understand. Have fun. Play the game the way you know it's supposed to be played. Then you take Nylander out and they get the message. I'm telling you, they'll get the message. And that's what they have to do. They have to erase that kind of behavior because that's what's hurting them, because Ottawa's making that many mistakes, right? And then the Leafs are making 1 or 2. Well, there you go, right? So
and that's all they need.
Leafs need to match Ottawa with 0 mistakes, and then get a little lucky with their talent, which I know they have.
And it's not that much of a tough ask.
No,
it really isn't. And I get it. I love Willie when he's engaged. When he's disengaged, as he did appear to be, that is an entirely different animal. You cannot motivate a reticent camel, and that is what Nylander appears to be at times. Can't move him.
And it's funny, it's funny how he becomes like this and how nobody can say anything to him on the bench, because you can see it from his first shift. You can see how he's not engaged. It's just, it's unbelievable. Like, I don't know. The guy goes from being one of the best players in the league to one of the, well, I shouldn't say that because he'll never be the worst player, because he's a very talented player. And you know what it might be too, Aaron? I'm just thinking, is it possible that his lack of success on his breakaways is getting to him?
I mean, it is entirely possible. The fact that he's kind of stalled out when it comes to goal production during the playoffs could be another thing.
Or is it just because of the way he's playing that his breakaways aren't working? Like, chicken egg?
All I know is that dude has $11.5 million a year to worth of motivation, and if you think that this team isn't going to put you on waivers, or if you think that this team isn't going to try to ship you down to the Marlies or trade you, well, I mean, he's got an anchor next to his contract. That means it's a no movement clause, so technically he is one at this point. But if he continues to play the way that he's playing, it's not going to help.
So I guess what we're talking about, folks, is his breakaway speed. It's non-existent. And part of it is the handling of the puck, because it's what you do with the puck while you're trying to move. And his handling of the puck before these last few games on breakaways, it wasn't just on a string. It was floating above him, like it was like leading him to the net. Now it seems like it's saying, I'm not going to the net. The puck's, going, nope, I'm not going to the, nope, I'm not going to the net. So, it's that thing, like we talk about in hockey, when you talk about Gretzky and his greatness, the puck's on his stick like a string, right? It's like it's on a string. And sometimes Marner has that feeling as well. And the Leafs aren't having that right now. Their mojo's really, I played the funeral march for a reason. Their mojo's dead right now. I don't know how they revive it.
I'm not 100% sure what it is that they need to do, but there are far too many pucks just hopping over sticks. There's far too many players missing passes. I know Matthews did the stupid thing and stopped a shot with the heel of his left hand. That's always a dumb idea. But this is when they prove their worth. Marner with his 10.903 million. Tavares, 11 million. Don't care. He can do whatever the heck he wants next year. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. More power to him. Nylander and Matthews are still under contract for the next 3 years. They got to show something. Same goes for Domi. Kampf is under contract for the next 2. Yarncroke, Lawton, Bobby McMahon, they're all under contract. They need to show us something.
Yeah, but the pressure, and the one thing I've got to say, and only because in fairness I need to say this. You have a team that the last time they won a Stanley Cup was in 1967. You have a team, an organization that has the kind of adulation there isn't anywhere else in the league. Close, Montreal. Montreal's fans are a little more very quiet until you do something, and when they play well, it's like it's like they say about Montreal fans back in the day. They're the best as long as they don't tie.
Yeah, no, that is that definitely sounds like it, man.
And that's who they are.
It's just so absolutely frustrating. But at the end of the day, I am still a Maple Leafs fan. I do have hope that they will succeed. We obviously have different opinions as to how that's going to happen. I'm just convinced they should do the absolute clown show way to get there. You're obviously of the opinion that they should get there by a slightly more direct route as opposed to throwing away a game, bringing in players from the minors. We'll have to see what Thursday brings. And if it does go to a 7th game, I can tell you that I'll be there. So.
Either way, Aaron, one thing we do agree on with your definition of what I said and what you said, what we're both saying is we need to see change.
Yeah.
Right? In your
100%.
case, change the players. In my case, it's a change one player and send a clear message to the rest of them. And I've seen that work in all kinds of sport. Mostly sports like hockey, where there's a limited amount of players. It doesn't work as easily in football. But in every other sport, basketball, hockey, lacrosse, you sit a player, it has more of an impact. And especially if it's clear, if you've got a perfect leg to stand on, which the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs would have, a message would be sent. If Nylander gets benched, that would be the message the players need to see.
Now, here's a question for you, Frank. When it comes to benching Nylander, do you pull him out of the lineup entirely, or do you dress him and just leave him on the bench?
No. Take him out. The pivotal point in that game, he showed no care. He did not care. Hey, listen, let me be fair to him, too. He may have made a determination which was correct, which is I'll never catch him, so why bother? But it's the why bother part that bothers me. It's not whether he was going to make it or not. It's why bother bothers me. That's the part that bothers me. So I would bench him up in the press box. No popcorn for you. No popcorn for you. And I would put Seinfeld on for him so you get the message. So I just think this organization has to have the cojones to take a core 4 player and say, buddy, you're not bigger than the team. And that is at the root of the problem with the core 4. They think they are the team. And that's all there is to it. And whether they have a right to think that or not is not my point. Because today, the way I'm talking today is a lot harder to work because, Aaron, as you know, today, the players run the roost, right? I mean, come on. You can't treat these players nowadays. You got to treat them with kid gloves, right? But the only thing you can do with players today, and they say it all the time, and I hear it, and I believe it, and that is ice time. That's the only control you have over today's superstars.
No, and I can't disagree with you on that one, Frank. They've got to do more. They've got to show something. They've got to change something.
Maybe, I hope he's listening to me. If you know the number to the Maple Leaf Sports, and I'll personally send the message, bench Nylander. And when that I was rough on him before, but for the same reason I'm talking today. But I don't mind eating crow and saying, you know what, he's a better player. You know that I believe that. I only say this because I believe it's an important thing for the Leafs to do, to send a message that no matter how important and how integral you are to this team, the way you play matters.
Well, one thing I can tell you for certain, Frank, is that in 27 hours we'll know.
Yeah. And in 27 plus whatever Friday at 6 is, we'll be talking about it.
Oh, guaranteed.
Now we could be rolling up the carpets and pulling down the curtains at that time, but well, the series ends on a Saturday if it doesn't end on Thursday, so it doesn't go past Saturday. So this weekend is the cutoff point. The Leafs have to fish or cut bait. They only have two choices: win or say ta-ta. And I want to end on a positive note, Aaron.
Sure.
We
can do that.
And here's my positive note. If they bounce Nylander into the stands and they play tomorrow and the players get the message and they understand that the organization, the coach, the team, the management team, everybody's saying, we appreciate if you work hard. And if they work hard enough to win and they win that game tomorrow, what kind of team do you think you'll have after that?
It's that getting over the hump, and
that is what it is.
We thought we did it when we beat Tampa Bay. We thought we were over the hump, and then got our butts handed to us by the Panthers. But in this particular case here, if we can win the Battle of Ontario, that sets us up nicely, because Tampa Bay and Florida are going to 7 games. Washington and Montreal, yeah, okay, that's probably done early, but the other series is also going 7 games. So at the end of the day, we'll have a little bit more rest going into this. We'll have an opportunity to rejuvenate ourselves, and once we get over that hump, it's over for all of y'all. So that's
I'm not as sold on how great it will be after they win, but my take on them, if they could put themselves in a position to win, it'll be how they win that matters. Yeah. There will be my point is, there will be a specific mental image each player is going to have. 2-on-1, lackadaisical comeback, no. Win, yes. Because that's what we're talking about here. The difference between winning and losing, in my opinion. That's all.
And like I said, we'll both be looking forward to seeing how this goes, and we'll either be jubilant or depressed come Monday. I'm hoping for actually better news for Friday.
We'll be here on Friday, no matter how it turns out. You know what we think, folks. We'd like to see the Leafs win. We love doing this show. We love watching Toronto play hockey. I love watching Aaron's enthusiasm. I love talking on the phone with the Leaf fans that I know. And my heart breaks when I talk to them and listen to their and honestly, as angry and as foolish I might sound here today, it's because of the heartfelt adulation of this team and that blue maple leaf. It's tied historically to the red maple leaf. There's similarities there, and there's a hope and a belief that's been going on for years that has been that's created dumbfounded people. I'm sorry. And I just wish Toronto could have something nice to celebrate. As Aaron says from time to time, I get the feeling sometimes we're not entitled to nice things.
It's true, folks.
So here's a nice thing I can tell you. You're done with us. You don't have to listen to me anymore. Sorry you can't listen to Aaron either. Thanks for doing this, Aaron William Freeland.
Always happy to, Frank.
I'm Candid, Frank Stanisci. It was fun. Oh, God, guys. Come on. Win a game. Jeez.